Hey viewers, I wanted to release a challenge run today, but I ran out of time to edit it because it's going to be well over an hour long. So I've quickly come up with an idea as a replacement. I'm going to review some of the most obscure and unknown Fallout New Vegas mods on the Nexus. All these mods are over 8 years old and have less than 1,000 unique downloads. I only had time to look at 6 mods because I'm crapping this video out in less than a day. Of the 6, I can recommend exactly none of them. They are all terrible, and I don't know what I expected. I thought there might be some overlooked hidden gems out there, and maybe there are, but the mods I looked at are complete garbage, so let's get looking at them. First up, we've got a very old mod from less than 2 weeks after New Vegas released called the Couriers Collection with only 570 unique downloads. It adds a very simple quest. On the corpse of Daniel whatever, in Primm, you can find a crumpled note detailing a key stolen by a guy named Eddie. Well, the only Eddie I know is the powder ganger leader at NCR Correctional Facility. Sure enough, pickpocket or kill him and he'll have a key you can bring into the Mojave Express office to open a safe of goodies. Inside the safe is a pair of sunglasses, a First Recon beret, which this mod renames Beret, but it's still the same, a courier's robe, which is just a copy of the Brotherhood Scribe's robe with a health restoration and radiation resistance effect added to it, and a G5 courier rifle. The G5 has the Gobi campaign sniper rifle's appearance, but does slightly more base damage and an astounding 10 times as much critical damage. It also has infinite recharging ammo, so it's ridiculously overpowered. And that's the end of the quest. Yep, find one key and it's over. This mod makes some more stupid changes, firstly editing the recharger pistol to have a lower critical chance and damage. It also can't disintegrate enemies anymore, and its iron sights are broken. Also, the Travel Light perk makes you 2.5 times faster than normal instead of 1.1 times. It looks like I'm increasing the time scale, I'm going so fast. Hidden gem, this mod is not. It's rather exactly what you'd expect from an early mod made by an inexperienced user. A short, unmarked quest leading to an overpowered reward. Our next mod is Upstate New York with only 165 unique downloads. This mod intrigued me because it has no pictures on its Nexus page and the description is rather short. I was 99% certain the mod would be complete dogshit, but I couldn't help but think, what if? What if this mod adds an incredible new world space nobody's ever seen before? Well, it's a bad sign from the start that the door this mod adds inside Doc Mitchell's house to reach the new world space isn't even aligned to the wall. Oh well, I wonder what we'll find inside. Oh. It's just an empty wasteland, and I'm stuck in the door. Most people would immediately uninstall the mod after seeing this shit, but I'll give it a fair shake. You have to no-clip to get through the door and start exploring. Instantly you'll find this mod's 2 new weapons, which are placed right outside this barracks building. There's the Fat Carpet, which has the model of a fat man but fires a lot more nukes and does more damage, and there's the Flare Shotgun, which is simply a flare gun that shoots 25 flares at once. It might look like there's nothing else here because there's no LOD for the Upstate New York world space, but run to the south and you can find some floating craters and a wrecked building guarded by battle gear NCR troopers. I don't know what battle gear is supposed to be, maybe a faction or something. To the northeast you'll find the creme de la creme of this mod, which is not saying much. There's some floating buildings, grass, trees, and roads that haven't quite been put together properly. And that's it. There's no interiors to any of the buildings, there's no quests, and no NPCs other than those NCR soldiers and a single Enclave soldier. There's nothing to find here in Upstate New York. But at least I took the plunge and looked, so no one else ever has to again. Our third mod is The Team, Part 1, at 177 unique downloads. I wonder when The Team Part 2 is going to come out. Hopefully never, because Part 1 sucks. It has 2 files on the Nexus page, a main file and a patch. It's unclear whether you're supposed to load both at once, but I can safely say you should only load the patch because it contains the entire mod. When you start the game with it loaded, you're granted 4 aid radios, which let you call in the 4 members of the team. You can also find another copy of the radios inside Doc Mitchell's house in case somehow the script doesn't fire. The team members drop in via Vertibird, and you can call them in whenever you like, as long as you're outdoors. The Vertibird has no trouble clipping straight through solid objects or landing on uneven ground. The team members act like companions, following you anywhere, but you can't talk to them or issue orders. There's no quest line or dialogue here either. A huge problem is this mod recompiles every single script in the game, so all of the fixes from Yukichigai's unofficial patch will be overwritten, and any other mod that edits vanilla scripts will be broken. Stewie Tweaks will warn you about this problem if you have it installed. It also has a few dirty world space edits that could potentially cause problems depending on your load order. Long story short, don't bother downloading this mod because pretty much any version of Enclave Commander is better. Fourth, we've got the Wasteland Bandit with 200 unique downloads. It adds a difficult-to-kill NPC called the Wasteland Bandit that follows you and hunts your ass down no matter where you are. It's a lot like the slightly less obscure mod Wasteland Serial Killers from a few years before, but not as good. The Wasteland Bandit has 1,000 health and his own armor, which is just reinforced leather armor but renamed and with some extra DT. If you get the more health version of this mod, he has 2,500 health instead of 1,000. Due to what I think is a mistake, regular reinforced leather armor has been renamed Bandit's armor and given extra DT to match the Wasteland Bandit's custom armor. How this mod works is the Wasteland Bandit has an AI package where he constantly hunts down the player and tries to kill everything in his path along the way because he's frenzied. He has a foolhardy confidence stat, so he never flees. He's kind of like the Terminator, going after you with no mercy. The only places he won't follow you are DLC areas or custom world spaces. Once you kill him, it's over. He doesn't seem to respawn. The mod has some dirty edits to world space records that might cause problems. I think the author was trying to look for different places to spawn in the Wasteland Bandit and accidentally made some dirty edits, which is extremely easy to do in the GEC. This mod won't completely break your game, but you're much better off using Wasteland Serial Killers instead. Fifth, we have Raiders Sewer with 687 unique downloads. Is this mod any good, or does it belong in the sewer? Unfortunately, it's the latter. When you start up the game with it loaded, a quest called Raiders Sewer is added to your Pip-Boy, asking you to kill Bad Guy. I guess it's hard to invent creative names. You're directed to a sewer grate in Goodsprings that leads to a 2-floor dungeon full of bullet sponge enemies and with very sparse furnishings. Most of the rooms are empty and copy-pasted. There's hallways that go nowhere, and one of the rooms is even missing a ceiling. For some reason, raiders with Gauss rifles don't have ammo, so they attack with their fists. One of the raiders has a key on him to access the boss area of the dungeon. Once you go there and kill Bad Guy, the quest is done. It takes about 10 minutes to get through this mod, maybe a little longer if the difficult enemies are giving you trouble. This is basically a baby's first dungeon mod. It's extremely basic and boring. Look at A World of Pain, More Mojave, New Vegas Interiors. Any of their individual dungeons are infinitely better than this one, in spite of whatever compatibility and technical issues those mods may have. Lastly, because I've run out of time, we have Fallout Saw Let the Games Begin. At 867 unique downloads, this is the most popular mod I'm covering, but it's still relatively obscure. In Goodsprings, because everything has to happen in Goodsprings apparently, there's a manhole on Main Street leading to the Saw dungeon. The mod couldn't be bothered to take away your equipment, so a note tells you to do it before beginning. The manhole leads to a room that looks like it's from the first Saw movie. You're trapped inside with an NPC named Adam, who has dialogue topics set up in the GEC, and there were plans to add voice acting for him according to the Nexus description, but that never happened. He only has generic greetings and goodbyes. In this room, you can either kill Adam and steal the key from his corpse, or pick the very hard lock. It doesn't matter. Then you kill 2 more of Jigsaw's prisoners, and have to get through another locked door protected by bottle cap mines. The next Saw trap is a radioactive pool with rusty keys at the bottom. Only one of these keys unlocks the door out of the room. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the pool isn't very radioactive, so you can take your time and collect all the keys easily. Then you have to find another key, and you get to a room full of bear traps and safes. You just open the safes until you find one with the combination for the central safe. Then you get to make a choice between immediately leaving or killing one last target. If you leave, the mod is over. If you kill the last target, you get to loot a key off the ground and kill Jigsaw's apprentice. All in all, the whole dungeon might take 15 minutes, if that. It's a cool idea for a mod, and I would love it if it was longer and well made, but it isn't. With New Vegas' health, radiation, and limb damage systems, there's plenty of ways one could make interesting Saw traps, but this mod failed to make any. And it's another mod that recompiles every single script in the game. If you want to use it, you'll need to clean out the identical to master script records in FNV Edit, but it really isn't worth the effort. That's all I had time to review for today. I'm hoping next week, time permitting, I can put out an actually good video for once. Until then,